Stop right now, look at your hands. These same hands were born to build empires, but today they scroll through other people's dreams. Someone stopped you. And the shocking truth, you know exactly who it was. Stay till the end, because what I'm about to tell you will change your life forever. Welcome to my channel, my friend. I'm so glad you're here today because this story is not just a story. This is a mirror, and by the end of these next few minutes you will see yourself in it. So take a deep breath, put your phone on silent, and listen carefully. Because the person you're about to meet is closer to you than you think. There was a young boy named Ethan. He lived in a small town where the sky was always gray and the streets were always quiet. Ethan was not rich. He was not famous. He was not even the smartest kid in his class. But Ethan had one thing that nobody could take away from him, and that was a dream. A big, wild, beautiful dream. He wanted to become a writer. He wanted to write stories that would touch hearts across the world. He wanted people to read his words and feel less alone. Every night when the whole world was asleep, Ethan would sit by his tiny wooden desk near the window. He would light a small candle, open his old notebook, and write. He wrote about heroes. He wrote about kings. He wrote about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. His words were not perfect, but they were honest. And honest words, my friend, are the most powerful words in the world. One day, Ethan gathered all his courage. He held his notebook tight to his chest and walked to his father. His hands were shaking. His heart was pounding. He looked up at his father and said, "Dad, I want to be a writer. I want to write books one day." His father looked at him for a long moment. Then he laughed, not a happy laugh, a cold laugh, a laugh that felt like a knife. "A writer," his father said. "Ethan, writers are poor, writers are dreamers. Writers die hungry, be smart, get a real job, forget these silly ideas." That night Ethan cried. He cried quietly under his blanket so no one could hear, and slowly, without even knowing it, he put his notebook away. He put his candle away. He put his dream away. And he told himself, maybe Dad is right, maybe I'm not meant for big things. Years passed, Ethan grew up. He got a job at a small office. He wore the same gray suit every day. He sat at the same gray desk. He ate the same gray lunch. His life had become as quiet as the streets of his small town. Every morning he woke up tired, and every night he went to sleep even more tired. But inside his chest something was still burning. A tiny flame, a tiny voice, a tiny reminder that he was born for more. One rainy evening Ethan was walking home from work. His shoes were wet. His shoulders were heavy. As he passed by an old bookstore, he stopped. Something pulled him inside. He didn't know why. He walked between the shelves, running his fingers along the spines of hundreds of books. And then he saw it, a small book with a torn cover. He picked it up and opened the first page, and what he read changed his life forever. The first line said, "The only person who ever stopped you was the person in the mirror." Ethan froze. He read it again, and again, and again. His hands started shaking, just like they did when he was a little boy holding his notebook. Tears filled his eyes, because in that moment he understood something he had been running from for 20 long years. It was not his father who stopped him. It was not his teachers. It was not the world. It was him. He had heard his father's cold laugh, and he had chosen to believe it. He had picked up that laugh like a chain and wrapped it around his own dreams. My friend, listen to me right now. This is the same question I want to ask you. Who stopped you? Was it your parents who said you were not smart enough? Was it your friends who laughed at your ideas? Was it your teacher who gave you a low grade? Was it that one person who broke your heart and made you feel small? You think they stopped you. But the truth is they only said the words. You are the one who believed them. You are the one who carried those words for years. You are the one who let those words become the walls of your prison. Ethan walked out of that bookstore a different man. He went home, opened his old dusty closet, and found his childhood notebook. The pages were yellow. The candle was gone, but his dream was still alive. That night he sat by the window just like when he was a boy. He picked up a pen. His hand was shaking, but this time it was not from fear, it was from excitement. And he wrote one sentence, just one sentence. I am not too late. He wrote every single night after that. He didn't tell anyone, he didn't post about it on social media. He didn't wait for permission, he just wrote. Sometimes he was tired, sometimes he wanted to quit. Sometimes the old voice of his father came back and whispered, "You are wasting your time." But every time Ethan would smile and whisper back, "Not anymore." 2 years passed. Ethan finished his first book. He sent it to 20 publishers. 19 said no, 19. Can you imagine? 19 doors slammed in his face, but the 20th said yes. And that book, my friend, became one of the most loved books in the country. People wrote him letters saying his words saved their lives. Young boys and girls read his story and started writing their own. And Ethan, that small boy with a candle and a dream, became the voice of a whole generation. But here is the most beautiful part of the story. One day, Ethan received a letter. It was from his father. His father had grown old now. His hands were weak. His voice was soft. In the letter, his father wrote, "My son, I stopped you once because I was scared. I was scared the world would hurt you. But you were braver than my fear. Thank you for not listening to me. Thank you for listening to yourself." Ethan cried when he read that letter, not because he was sad, but because he finally understood. The people who stopped us are not our enemies. They are usually people who were stopped themselves. They pass their fear to us because that is all they know, but we do not have to accept it. We can hand that fear back and say, "No, thank you. I have my own path to walk." Now, my friend, come back to yourself. Come back to this moment. Right now, as you are listening to this story, think about your dream. That one dream you buried a long time ago. That one dream you stopped talking about because people laughed. That one dream you told yourself was not realistic. I want you to know something. That dream is still alive. It is waiting for you. It is knocking on the door of your heart every single night, and every single night you have been ignoring it. But not anymore. The person who stopped you is not out there. The person who stopped you is inside you. And the beautiful news is this. If you stopped yourself, that means only you can start yourself again. You do not need permission. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need to be rich or famous or lucky. You just need to do what Ethan did. Pick up your pen, open your notebook, take one small step tonight. Maybe your notebook is not a real notebook. Maybe it is a gym. Maybe it is a business idea. Maybe it is a language you want to learn. Maybe it is a person you want to become. Whatever it is, start tonight, not tomorrow, not next Monday, not next year, tonight. Because tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves when we are too scared to face today. I want you to remember this. Every great person you admire was once told they were not good enough. Every successful writer was rejected. Every famous singer was told to stop singing. Every rich businessman was told their idea was stupid. But they had one secret. They stopped listening to the noise outside and they started listening to the fire inside. That fire, my friend, is inside you too. Do not let it die. So tonight, before you sleep, I want you to do something simple. Stand in front of your mirror, look into your own eyes, and ask yourself the question that changed Ethan's life. Who stopped you? And when you hear the answer, do not be angry. Do not cry, just smile. Because if the person who stopped you is you, then the person who can save you is also you. And that is the most powerful truth in the whole universe. You are not too old, you are not too late, you are not too broken, you are not too small. You are exactly where you need to be, and this moment right now is your beginning. The world does not need another quiet version of you. The world needs the real, wild, brave, beautiful you, the one you buried, the one you hid, the one you promised you would become when you were still a child with a candle and a notebook. That child is still waiting for you. Do not make them wait any longer. So, my friend, if this story touched your heart even a little bit, do one thing for me. Share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight. Somewhere out there is a person just like Ethan, sitting alone, thinking their dream is dead. Your share might be the candle that lights their window again. And remember, always remember, the only person who ever stopped you is the same person who can start you again. And that person is looking at you every morning in the mirror. Say hello to them today. And tell them, we are not too late. We are just getting started. I'll see you in the next story. Until then, keep going, keep believing, keep writing your